Hello, Space Watchers, and welcome back to our weekly nugget where we dive into the most intriguing news of the week. So this week has been all about US politics, and it's shaping up to be a fascinating, maybe chaotic period for space exploration and policy. On Monday the 20th, Donald Trump has been inaugurated for his second term as president, and with that comes what I believe would be a very heated phase for space affairs, not just in the US, but globally. Exploration, government priorities, China, Russia, commercial ventures, SpaceX, Starlink, Starshield, Moon, Mars, astronomical concerns, the new LEO economy, just name it. Everything's going to be on the table. So let's break down what has been happening over the past few weeks. With Trump's return to the White House, Elon Musk has entered the political scene in a bigger way. Musk attended the inauguration, and while it's not confirmed yet if he will have an office in the West Wing, there are rumors he could officially or unofficially lead the newly created U.S. Department of Government Efficiency. But let's zero in on the space angle. On January the 3rd, Musk declared on X that the moon is a distraction and they should focus directly on Mars. Then during the inauguration, Trump only briefly touched on space, saying that we will pursue, I'm quoting here, we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that the US is going to abandon the Trump-initiated Artemis program in favor of a SpaceX-led fast-track mission to Mars? Obviously, it's going to be nuanced. Obviously, it's going to be more complicated than what I can unpack here in 3-4 minutes. But let's just try to rewind a bit to understand how we got here. Here's a quick timeline in the US Moon versus Mars debate. Back in 2004, President George W. Bush announced the plan to return Americans to the Moon by 2015. He envisioned the Moon as a stepping stone for Mars mission and created a constellation program to make it happen. So back then, NASA started preparing for lunar mission. Then in 2010, President Obama arrived, he came in and he canceled the Constellation program, pivoting NASA's focus towards sending astronauts to a near-Earth asteroid by 2025 and eventually reaching Mars by the mid-2030s. So the moon, during the Obama presidency, was left behind. Fast forward to President Trump's first term. In 2017, he revived the moon goal with the Artemis program, aiming to put boots back on the lunar surface and establish a sustainable presence. President Biden stuck with Artemis, keeping it on track during his term, but now with Trump's return and with Elon Musk whispering in his ear, it seems that the moon might once again be up for debate. What's going on here? Honestly, I find this hard to believe. I find hard to believe that the US will give up the moon to just move directly to Mars, because if the US steps away from the moon, China will undoubtedly take the lead. It's almost a given. But who knows? I mean, these are wild times, and predicting what the US will do tomorrow feels a bit like a gamble today. What I found a bit puzzling or a bit surprising, though, is how the world's leading spacefaring nation, a country with more power, more budget, more money for space exploration than anyone else, seems to treat its planetary targets like a bit of a political ping-pong game. It feels like the planetary destination changes depending on who is sitting in the Oval Office. And this doesn't look to me the most efficient way to go straight to the goal, to maintain that dominance that is so important for the US. Let's see what happens. We live in interesting times. Stay curious, Space Watchers, and as always, Space Watch out.